Hello Cowboys Nation, welcome to another video, and without further ado, let's get to another round of news from America's team. Cowboys predicted to replace QB with reliable new option. The Dallas Cowboys are heading into the offseason with a totally new look, and new head coach Brian Schottenheimer will likely shake things up a lot before the first snap of the new season. Going into the 2025-26 season, Dallas has their franchise quarterback in Dak Prescott. Unfortunately, Prescott spent much of the past season out with an injury, but he's expected to be back and raring to go coming September. However, Prescott's backup quarterback is in question. New Dallas Cowboys quarterback could be familiar with Brian Schottenheimer. In a January 28 feature for CBS Sports, NFL expert and analyst Cody Benjamin suggests a handful of major quarterback trades for the offseason. These moves would be in addition to teams scooping up quarterbacks during the 2025 NFL Draft, and since that class isn't very strong, it's not wild to think that a lot of veteran quarterbacks will be in demand during the offseason. Several high-profile starters are on track to become free agents in March, and a number of others could also be available via trade, Benjamin states in the feature, adding that his feature puts 17 quarterbacks with new teams. As for the Cowboys, Benjamin sends C.J. Beathard of the Jacksonville Jags to the Cowboys. Mac Jones is better positioned to stick with the Jacksonville Jaguars as a backup for Trevor Lawrence, he stated. Which means Beathard could reunite with Brian Schottenheimer as Dak Prescott's new number 2. Schottenheimer coached Beathard in 2021 when he was the Jaguars' passing game coordinator, and he also became their interim offensive coordinator. While Beathard didn't have much playing time, Schottenheimer was hands-on with the Jaguars quarterbacks during that 2021 season, so he's familiar with Beathard. Beathard has been a consistent and reliable backup behind Lawrence, NFL writer and expert John Shipley of Sports Illustrated notes. His groin injury in camp settled a competition between him and Mac Jones for the backup job, but Beathard then rejoined the team after Lawrence sustained a shoulder injury in Week 9 and served as backup quarterback to Jones during the final third of the season. Shipley adds that it's totally foreseeable that Jacksonville could want to part with their backup quarterbacks, because the only known is that Lawrence is their main guy. With both Mac Jones and C.J. Beathard set to become free agents in March, the Jaguars are likely entering the offseason with an open mind, he stated. There's more quarterback talk amid the Cowboys, too. In this CBS Sports piece, Benjamin also favors Dallas backup quarterback Cooper Rush heading to the New Orleans Saints. Rush saw a lot of playing time last season, due to Prescott's injury. Cooper Rush, an undrafted free agent, has proven himself as a reliable backup with a 9-5 record as a starter for the Cowboys, Skiller noted. Meanwhile, Trey Lance, the former number 3 overall pick, has started just one game for Dallas, which ended in a loss, leaving him with a 5-7 overall record. NFC squad threatens to steal Micah Parsons from Cowboys. There aren't many teams in the NFL that wouldn't take a run at Dallas Cowboys Pro Bowl pass rusher Micah Parsons if they got the chance, and a handful might this offseason. Parsons is entering the 5th-year team option on his rookie contract worth $24 million. However, he is also seeking a contract extension that should make him among the top-paid players at his position across the league. Spotrac projects Parsons' market value at $30 million annually over a new 3-year contract, which could prove challenging for Dallas to muster after all the money the team spent last offseason to retain quarterback Dak Prescott and wide receiver CeeDee Lamb. Other franchises with more salary cap space could elbow their way into the conversation for Parsons if he decides he isn't interested in signing whatever extension Dallas decides to offer. In that scenario, the Cowboys could be forced to entertain a trade so as to get value back for Parsons rather than watch him walk away for nothing in 2026 or 2027 if Dallas decides to use the franchise tag to lock Parsons up for another year. The Chicago Bears have among the most salary cap space in the NFL with upwards of $70 million currently. They are also in serious need of another quality pass rusher to start alongside Montez Sweat and have the draft capital at their disposal to make the Cowboys a real offer for Parsons. If the Cowboys were to make Micah Parsons available, then the Bears should be among the first in line to make an offer, Bleacher Report's NFL scouting department wrote on Monday, February 3rd. They have the cap space and resources to make a deal happen with an extension for the superstar. Washington State wide receiver could be perfect day 2 pick for Dallas Cowboys. As the Dallas Cowboys coaching staff rounds into shape, I thought it would be a good time for me to dive into some of the names around college football who don't get the love they should. Last week the Reese's Senior Bowl took place, which is an annual college football all-star game that gives nearly 150 of the sport's best outgoing players the chance to boost their profiles for the NFL draft. I kept a pretty close eye on Twitter as well as many who were there and gave updates and even did my own research on guys who I thought could help the Cowboys at spots where they have major concerns. Kyle Williams helped the Cougars from Washington State to an 8-5 record in 2024, catching 70 passes for 1,198 yards with 14 touchdowns. The Los Angeles native's totals were second most touchdown catches in Washington State history for a single season and the fourth most receiving yards. A transfer from UNLV, Williams recorded 61 receptions for 843 yards and 6 touchdowns during his first season at Washington State. This past season, Williams recorded career highs in receptions, 70, receiving yards, 1,198, and receiving touchdowns, 14. This year's class is not the strongest when it comes to the wide-out spot, and if the Cowboys don't get Tetairoa McMillan from Arizona, I don't want them looking to draft one in the first round. Others such as Emeka Egbuka, Matthew Golden, and will go in the first, and I may not have a problem with Luther Bird in 3, but nobody stands out. I would be on edge if they took a guy in the first round, but you never know. Let's be real here. We all have our thoughts on what the Cowboys need to do in the draft. I still think they have a much bigger need in the first round. With the way they put together the offensive coaching staff, I think if they don't take Ashton Jandy, they need to either take an offensive line or defensive line. That is it. Day 2 is where you can find Kyle Williams, and I hope it is with the Cowboys.